Yo, what is going on, Cover One crew? Welcome back to the show. Hope everybody's doing good. The NFL Combine is approaching. We're talking weigh-ins and interviews. All these players starting to get ready in Indianapolis for the NFL Combine that is kicking off on Thursday in drills. And I got players to watch for this NFL Combine. There are plenty that we got to discuss because, I might have the list a little too long, but there is a boatload of players that I'm excited about to discuss, some that are not even participating within this NFL Combine. So let's talk about quarterbacks right off the bat. First, we know already Jayden Daniels, Drake Maye, and Caleb Williams have all decided not to participate in the NFL Combine, which is interesting. I get it. Their draft stock at this point is where it is, and they don't want to harm the stock. But I do believe that this is not a good situation. They're waiting for their pro days where it's going to be more scripted and make them look that much better. I get what they're doing. I just don't like it as a fan. Would like to see them, sling the football at the Combine. Does the Combine really mean that much? Probably not in the whole grand scheme of things, but it does showcase, what they're able to do in shorts with their athletic ability in these tests. And we get at least, some basis points on what they can do athletically in the 40 times. And Caleb Williams, Drake Maye, and Jayden Daniels not throwing or participating is a big loss for this Combine, no kidding, but it does impact J.J. McCarthy quite a bit because this is a great opportunity for J.J. to lift his stock up the board that much better. A lot of people saying he's a top 10 pick. Some are saying he's a round 2 product. I'm saying I like JJ. I think he's a very good talent, and this is a great opportunity to showcase where he can stand, sling that football all over the field, and lift his draft stock. Likewise, with a Joe Milton III, this is perfect now that Caleb Drake and Jayden Daniels are not going to be throwing in this competition. Milton, he might have the best arm in this draft. Let's be real. The guy can absolutely sling it down the field. It might be more of a raw prospect. Didn't have a lot of playing time in college football, even though he is older because he has been in the system for a long period of time. He didn't perform well at the Senior Bowl, and this is a great opportunity for him to at least toss those bombs and get that mantra that he is not the quality passer that we're all looking for. The, tangible traits and the measurables are off the chain with a Joe Milton, but this is a great opportunity for him to hit some deep throws, hit some accurate throws, and it lift his stock that much more as a potential, development prospect for the NFL for some of these clubs. Bo Nix, Oregon, he's definitely one to watch. He still is that enigma for me. I've gone through some of his film, and I still don't know where to, place him because the Auburn film is that recency bias for me where I do say he's not that great product, but transferring to Oregon was a great stroke of genius. He also did not look sharp at the Senior Bowl. Tape suggests he should be in that high power air raid scheme. Will he get that in the NFL? He's got to show better this weekend for me. I will definitely be taking big notes on a Bo Nix this weekend just to see as I continue through his film study to see what he truly could be in the NFL. Michael Penix Jr., Washington Huskies, Natty runner-up. Big disappointing show in the Natty, no question. Threw interceptions, got rattled, but that Michigan defense was absolutely stifling. And the interesting one was Penix actually withdrew himself from the Senior Bowl game day, which was an odd move for me. But at this Combine, it looks like it's very important to lift his stock as well. I do expect a very good show from a Michael Penix Jr. because he definitely requires that because there is some stank on his game right now, not only from the Natty, but from the Senior Bowl. Not participating was definitely not a good look. Spencer Rattler, South Carolina OU product. And he's been the biggest riser thus far. My guy, Spencer Rattler, you guys know me. I've been a huge Spencer Rattler supporter over the years. Winning the Senior Bowl MVP made a lot of people take notice. And while Rattler, he did lose his job to Caleb Williams back at Oklahoma, which, at that time had him pegged as the potential top pick in the NFL draft that season. And then he stayed on a couple more years to at least, increase his viability in the draft after losing his job to Caleb. And now this is a great deal of notice being taken on a Spencer Rattler. Some are even saying he's now back entered into the first round conversation. I don't know if I'm going to go that far because there is things in his game he still needs to work out, but I've always been a Spencer Rattler supporter. I'm looking for him to have a very good Combine and start dicing the football all over the field. Let's talk some running backs. Braylon Allen, Wisconsin. This is the new beast mode, baby. We're talking baby King Henry 2.0. This is Braylon Allen, man. Linebacker, convert into a running back, and he's done nothing but produce. Allen is basically shaping up to be right now my top running back out of this class, only 19 years of age. Allen is just getting started. Lots of tread on these tires to be had, and he will be that dominating force in the running back position. Very big, powerful, speedy running back that everybody craves in the NFL. Braylon Allen is definitely that dude, and you got to watch out because he is that good, man. A Manny Bailey TCU product, and I spoke about him when we dissected the Senior Bowl rosters, and Bailey's an interesting prospect, likely day 3 to undrafted rookie free agent, but he does have some good skills and a good skill set to carve out a role somewhere in the NFL. He's got some pass-catching ability. He is a little bit more stout. I do like his game. He's an interesting player. I'm looking to see his hip fluidity in this combine more than anything. Want to see how he does run in these drills, man. Trey Benson, Florida State. A lot of people, he's been kind of, off the radar for a lot right now. Benson could be this special talent, man, that the NFL is overlooking at this point. I'm looking for him to showcase his fluidity at the combine, his speed, his hands. I'll be watching very close on what Benson can do because I think there is a lot of good talent here for Benson, and he could actually be one of these guys that is slept on just a little bit as we enter this draft process. Jonathan Brooks, Texas product, and Brooks is absolutely going to challenge for that top spot at the running back position in this draft class with a Braylon Allen. He's got loads of talent, very exciting prospect, and I look forward to seeing him run, man. I've dove into his tape just a little bit, don't have the full body of work just yet, and I think this is a great opportunity for him to showcase the fact that he is a true running back 1 in this class and should be considered as such. He needs a very good combine to put a stamp on that. No kidding about that. Blake Corum, Michigan product. In my early assessment on a Blake Corum, he resembles something of a Kyron Williams type of running back, no question. A little bit smaller in stature, but he does make up for that in a lot of physicality. Very compact, but very powerful style. And, he's got the most to lose with a poor showing here, I think. But, I like myself a little Blake Corum. I think he is good enough. He could also be the first running back taken off the board in this draft class. I don't think he's got a lot to prove anymore. He's proved enough. He's got the most to lose at the running back spot, in my opinion, with a poor showing here at the combine. Ray Davis, Kentucky. And Davis, like Amani Bailey, loads to prove in this combine. Davis, another late-round running back, interesting running back. He's got beef and speed with some hands. You do like that about him. And, it looks like he's running a lot faster than what he is typically on the field. I'm very curious to see what his 40 time is going to be. And, I think with keeping a very close eye on a Ray Davis, he could definitely turn a lot of y'all's heads in how he does play football, man. Audric Estime, Notre Dame, one of my favorite backs in this class. Notre Dame Estime, he's so good. He could be one of the biggest steals in this class, no kidding. The speed, power, athletic ability, Audric could definitely be placing his stock on a massive rise with a very good show. He is definitely one of my favorites. Keep your eye out on Estime. He is a quality running back. Frank Gore Jr., Southern Mississippi, son of future Hall of Famer Frank Gore Sr. Gore is coming out of a great showing at the Shrine Bowl where he did take one of the house, likely a day 3 pick to undrafted rookie free agent as well. Still definitely one to watch. He's got some appeal that he could be this change of pace running back with some bully ability in the NFL. Definitely one to watch. Frank Gore Jr. Bucky Irving, Oregon. What can you say outside of so much juice and elusive ability? The Ducks, Bucky Irving, he could be one of the most exciting backs in this draft. Looking to see him in his pass-catching ability on display is kind of where I'm going more so here. I just want to see him put on a show. I want to see those soft hands. I want to see the burst and the electric acceleration from a Bucky Irving. He's a good running back. Is he a great running back? I will be continuing to dive into all these guys' films, giving you guys the scouting reports, but Bucky Irving is definitely on my radar. He is one of these guys that is very exciting to watch. Dylan Johnson, another Huskies product, and there's going to be a lot of these guys in this draft after they did go to the Natty, and no one seems to be talking about a Dylan Johnson at this point, man. He is basically my sleeper candidate right now. Good speed, power to boot. He's got his breakout season in 2023. I get it. Injuries have clouded his career. If you followed him at any rate at this point, he has dealt with his share of a lot of injuries, especially this last season, given the full blown 200 plus workload that he was given. Great game. His best game as a collegiate prospect versus Southern California this past season. 256 yards and 4 TDs. If you don't know the name of Dylan Johnson, I'm telling y'all, get ready to take notice of him. He is a very good quality talent. I wonder if he's going to perform. Haven't heard that he's, because he was dealing with injuries late on in the season. I haven't heard anything that he won't suit up in this thing, but we'll see how that does go. Kendall Milton, UGA, Georgia Bulldog product. And y'all know me, man. Normally I'm super bullish on these Georgia Bulldog running backs, but Milton doesn't necessarily move the needle for me like the other running backs have in the past. Still a good talent, loads of power and ability. I'm kind of looking for him to give me that wow factor. There's something missing in his game. He could be a good change of pace guy as well, but there is something missing from a Kendall Milton for me that I'm going to be like, okay, I really want this guy on one of my clubs. He's one of these guys I'm looking for to change my mind in a very big way here at the Combine. Will Shipley, Clemson Tigers. Okay, and what was the mantra on this guy going into his past seasons? Poor man CMC. That's what everybody wanted a Shipley to be. Is he really, though? I mean, loaded with playmaking ability, there is no question. The dual threat running back ability, productive in the pass game, able to go in between the tackles, got enough juice to go outside. He's one of these guys that could test very well, and with a great 40 time, because a lot of people suggesting he could run slower with a great 40 time, I think that Shipley is absolutely going to lift up his stock. I'm watching him with very keen eyes. Jalen Wright, last running back on the board, Tennessee, and many in the scouting community believe in Wright. I'm still kind of on the fence, and I desperately want him to change my mind. I want to like his skill set, want to like his talents. Will it translate in the pros is kind of where I'm going. He's got some wheels. He's got some skills. We will see. I'm really looking for a Jalen Wright to change my mind as well in this NFL Combine. It's not the whole thing. I just want to see them perform in the manners where I scout, and then I'm going to give them the check boxes in that sense because they are playing in shorts, no defense in pads, so we understand where it's coming from. Wide receiver time. There is a boatload of wideouts in this draft. It is heavily loaded, and we're going to start with Javon Baker, UCF. Many at the Cover One community here, we love a Javon Baker, and I mean, truth be told, he's winning me over as well, man. Great receiving ability, great route tree, definitely is one to watch. Got some hops, he's got some contested catch ability. Javon Baker is one of these dudes you got to keep your eye on because he could be flying up draft boards once we get closer to the NFL draft in a very big way. Baker is a good talent, and he is rising very quickly, man. Keon Coleman, Florida State, one of the best wide receivers in the class as well. Coleman should be able to keep the hype going. Very talented wide receiver, and anything outside of dropping balls and not running a good 40 time, not good in the verticals, will only drop his stock. He's got nothing to really lose and everything to gain. I do like myself Keon Coleman quite a bit. I think he is a very, very solid talent, man. Malachi Corley, Western Kentucky. Very crazy, elusive, physical wide receiver, combo, skill set. He can make home run plays off the yak. He's got, the screen appeal. He's just a great talent. Corley's definitely one of these guys rising up the board. There is a lot of very good slot presence in this draft class as well for the wide receivers, and Corley could be the first one coming off the board in that sense for someone who is looking for that slot category. Corley is one who is very exciting, very elusive and physical. You will like his game, no question. Man, Jacob Cowing, Arizona. And like I'm saying, man, this wide receiver's got loads of skill as well. I think he actually will be an instant fit for an NFL club coming out of this draft. His speed, playmaking ability, he's just a fun watch, man. He's put up good stats with Arizona. And I think, you know what, coming to the NFL, he can play outside. We've seen him. I think he's going to do damage in the slot. No kidding. He's going to get drafted on some club that is a slot-needy team, and he will make people pay with his elusive ability in the open field. There is no question in my mind. Troy Franklin, Oregon product. Much like Bo Nix, Franklin I like, but I got some questions to his game. He might be one of the fastest wide receivers in this class. He might run a clean 4.3, if not under sub 4.3 40 time. He is that fast, but I wonder on his full route tree. It's still not necessarily there for me. I will be watching him very close. He's fluid. He's got very good hands, and I understand the appeal, but if you're drafting a wide receiver just for wheels alone and they don't have the full game rounded out, we understand what this happens. His name time as Justin Ross going back in the day. So, I mean, you understand, Ross, I forget his name. I'm stumbling for words, but I mean, the Ross kid that ran that 40 time that was like 4.2. I'm not saying Franklin is Ross, but I think that, there is a potential here that he could be a bust if that does happen. So I'm just one of these things with a Franklin. I'm not overly keen on him just yet. I just want to see a little bit more, and I still got loads of tape to do on him right now. I know some of the, our members here at Cover One, they love them some Franklin. I think he's a good talent. Is he a great talent? I'm still waiting to see that, man. Marvin Harrison Jr., Ohio State. Unfortunately, like all the quarterbacks, Marvin Harrison Jr. will not take part in this combine. And I mean, I get he's got absolutely nothing to prove. He's going to likely be the first wide receiver taken off this board, probably a top 5 pick in this NFL draft, but this upsets me. I wanted to see Marvin Harrison Jr. on the field, showcasing what he can do, but we already know, if you've seen any Ohio State games this past year, you know exactly what Marvin's going to be able to do in the NFL. Xavier Legette, South Carolina. I'm a huge fan of this man. Built like a Debo, runs just as fast. He's very physical, very quick, good hands, good box out method to these defensive backs. Him and Rattler absolutely tore it up this past year. Day 2 product likely, and he just got to put on a show, and he could absolutely sneak into that back end of the first round if he does have a good combine and pro day to uplift his stock. Some say he struggled at the Senior Bowl. I didn't really see it. I thought he did very well at the Senior Bowl. I think he did go out with an injury as well, so there is something to note there also. Ladd McConkey, Georgia UGA. Ladd's another one of my favorites. Route running machine, supreme hands, playmaker for days, extraordinaire. Ladd is one of these guys. It's a Wes Welker type of situation with better wheels and maybe better hands. Ladd McConkey is definitely one of these guys to make a definite impact year 1 in the NFL if given the opportunity. Jalen McMillan, Washington Huskies, one of the biggest risers up my board is a Jalen McMillan, great size, speed, hops, hands are good, maybe could be one of the deadliest slot wide receivers to come out of this class. He is this guy that should pay dividends immediately in the NFL. I love what he was able to do on the field. McMillan is one of these dudes you got to take notice of, because he will make you notice him in the NFL, and then at that point, it's going to be too late for y'all. Anyway, Mitchell, Texas product. And I mean, he's a good one. I believe he's former UGA, transfer to Texas. He can only improve his case here at the Combine. Splendid performance here would be great. I mean, contested catchability up the wazoo. He's another great wide receiver talent that I think could be in a, day 2 product, but, challenge at least to be a low-end wide receiver 1 in the NFL, if not a great secondary wide receiver 2. Mitchell is one of these dudes you like to see, and I think with a good Combine, he will make more people take notice. Malik Neighbors, LSU product. I mean, like Marvin Harrison Jr., Neighbors is that 1 and 2 in this class. And I mean, I'm seeing, okay, if he does run a 4.3 clean, many are going to open up the debate to say he should be the first wide receiver taken off the board. It's Marvin Harrison. Do not overthink this whatsoever. Marvin is the number 1 wide receiver in this draft class, but Neighbors is right on his heels. These guys are elite, talented wide receivers, and they will definitely make a case for themselves. Neighbors is a great talent and should test extremely well. Rome Odunze, another Washington Huskies product. Okay, enter the third of the trio of elite wide receiver prospects. It is Rome Odunze. He is Keenan Allen type to me. I think it's very good. It translates very well to his game. Not overly speedy, but can make the catches. Is a wide receiver 1. Is a lead on those trends. And I mean, he's gonna take charge early. There is no question. Some believe he's better than Neighbors. I don't think I'm going to say that at this point. I think he's maybe just a touch lower than a Neighbors, but they're all 3 of them are still elite, talented prospects that will make noise in the NFL. Ricky Purcell, Florida, great route runner, nice hands, good size. Purcell's one of these guys, I mean, that he could be a great secondary wide receiver in the NFL and be at great value in the NFL draft. Jalen Polk, Washington. Again, like I'm saying, I've only done the primary work on Polk thus far. He's been impressive. What can you say? Washington was loaded with wide receiver talent, hence why they went to the Natty. And Polk is one of these guys I'm going to keep a close eye on because I do want to see more. I still got a lot of film to dissect on the man, but I think he's an interesting prospect. Also, Brendan Rice, USC. And okay, you know this, okay? When you're old and you're seeing Hall of Famers, Hall of Famers that we saw growing up, when you see their kids going into the NFL, like Jerry Rice's son here, Brendan Rice, I mean, it's unbelievable. You know you're getting old. These kids are going to the NFL. I mean, Rice is a good talent, but is he great? Size, speed, decent hands. I do want to see more out of him. I mean, that USC system was up and down with Caleb this past year. The last 6 games definitely foiled the cause. Rice is a very good talent. Is he great? That's what I'm watching for in this one as well. Ananias Smith, Texas A&M, one of the most versatile players at the position. I've always been an Ananias Smith supporter, always been a fan. He's played both wide receiver and running back. Very good ability, and he could be a supreme steal in this draft. Could be a day 3 product. Injuries did derail him, but he is good stuff, man. The elite level wheels, probably not there, but he does have the ability to be that Swiss Army knife that you require. Has a nose for that end zone. Ananias Smith, definitely one to watch to uplift his draft stock. Brian Thomas Jr., LSU. Okay, Jayden Daniels, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas, they put on a clinic in 2023. Thomas had, 17 TDs this past year, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, and he's shaping up to be a fabulous wide receiver, too, with potential to be a wide receiver 1 in the future in the NFL. There are some question marks I do have. He's seen to be giving up on plays at times, but he is one of these guys. Field burner, good hands, great size, 6'5". Brian Thomas is definitely one you got to keep your eye on. Jamari Thrash, Louisville product. Not many know about Jamari Thrash. He's one of these shifty playmakers from Louisville. Very interesting. Good routes, good hands, has playmaking appeal. I really want to see his 40 time. He should kill it in the slot in the NFL, but I want to see how fast he does run. Tape speed doesn't necessarily translate to suggest he's going to be that guy that's going to burn you for days. I do like his game, though. I think he's going to be very reliable when you're looking for someone to get you first downs on 3rd and short. Tez Walker. Okay, North Carolina product. I mean, while I did like Tez a lot this past season, his poor performances on his hands at the Senior Bowl, very discouraging. It was clear that the Senior Bowl coaching staff really tried to break him out of his funk, and it came to no avail. He wasn't getting the football. He was dropping passes, wasn't separating. Tez can absolutely be one of these guys that changes the absolute perception of his game right now. He's got to get out of his own way, catch some passes, make some plays, and run a good 40 to jump him back into that first-round conversation. I think I'm out of the books of him being a first-round talent, but I do like his game. Day 2 product for me for Tez Walker is definitely on the horizon. Roman Wilson, Michigan. Many love themselves some Wilson. They believe he's that, big-time potential baller in the NFL. He's got good hands. He's got good speed, but I'm a little bit lukewarm as of today. I really do want to see his game. I think he's going to be a solid player in the NFL. Is he going to be elite? I don't think so, but I do like his game. He does have a lot of, tangible assets that you do like from a wide receiver, and Roman Wilson is definitely one of these guys. Should be taken day 2 and will make an impact on some club. I just want to see a lot out of him in this combine also. Last one on the wide receivers, Xavier Worthy, Texas. I'm going to finish it off. Worthy is my absolute scouting crush at this point. Loaded with speed to go deep. He's got tons of yak upside, screen plays, break tackle to go along with it. I mean, he's got some elusive ability as well. He reminds me of a Devonta Smith with lesser hands. The hands on the Smitty are way better. Issue with the hands with a Worthy. He does have dropping problems at times. I really want to see him clean this up at the combine. Do not drop a single football and you will uplift your stock, Mr. Worthy. I do like his game that much. He will be an absolute impact player who can take you deep, who can burn you in the yak and be that, more than a Swiss Army knife, be a really reliable wide receiver 2 in this league with wheels for days to keep defenses honest with his speed. Finish it off with tight ends. We got Jaheim Bell, Florida State. And okay, why this tight end class isn't as strong as last year's. Bell is very good. He's got very good speed, athletic ability. He's a good receiving tight end, that's for sure. Is he going to be great in the NFL? We'll see. But, I mean, there's a lot of good pass-catching tight end options in this draft, and Bell is definitely also one of these guys. The biggest one is Brock Bowers, Georgia product with the Bulldogs. We talk of generational talent all the time, but when you talk about a tight end, Brock Bowers definitely fits the mold of potential generational talent. He is indeed one of these guys loaded with ability. I mean, he's going to be a day 1 stud in the NFL like Laporta was, like Kincaid was as he came on early. And later on, I mean, even if Brock Bowers craps his pants on the field, he's still going to be a top 15 pick in this draft. No kidding. He is one of the safer tight end options, I mean, out of the last 5 years in the NFL draft. We got Sanders from Texas, another one that's an interesting talent. I mean, he should pay instantly in the pass game in the pros. You take some time to develop further, likely, but he is pretty solid, and I think he's going to have a very good, safe career in the NFL. Good combine will showcase that. If he does block, extremely well, I think that will lift up his stock quite a bit. Ben Sinnett, Kansas State. I mean, he's a former fullback, transition to a tight end, so you know he can block, and he did put up some good stats. He's one of these tough football players, hard-nosed football players that you put him on the right team, like a Detroit who's got extreme physicality, even though Detroit doesn't need a tight end. You're looking for a team that's looking for a Sinnett. They're looking for the physical type of tight end. I'm watching him very close. Want to see what he can do in the open field. The fluidity is going to be massive for me to watch on this guy because I want to see how nimble he is in the open field. Last one, Cade Stover, OSU. Okay, maybe the best dual-purpose tight end in the class outside of Brock Bowers. I mean, Stover's got great power, run-blocking ability. He's got good enough receiving ability to make a lot of noise in the NFL, and he is one of these guys that Jeremy Ruckert for those New York Jets, former OSU product as well. I thought he would have already made noise in the pros. Stover could be a likeness to a Jeremy Ruckert as well, but he's a very interesting talent nonetheless. But there you have it. That is players to watch from the offensive side. There is so many defenders to go through as well. Going to be watching that. A lot of good defensive edge presence, a lot of defensive backs to watch as well on the defensive side. So definitely get ready for the combine. If you're not excited, get excited because it is definitely good fun. But nevertheless, as always, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, jump in those comments, give me your thoughts, and we'll see you next time. I am out.